We will now avoid setting be good goals. In this part, I will first tell you a little story and then share some insights into how your brain works. We will build on that to make sure that you fully understand what it means to set be good goals, because we want to avoid it. Imagine you're in the forest and you look at the path where you walk. To both sides of the path, there are so many small trees and branches. Leaving your path seems impossible because outside of your path, everything is very dense and very dark. But you want to make a shortcut. You want to take a new path where people don't normally walk, even though it's difficult for you to get through. The first time you push your body through, it is so annoying and you get really frustrated and even a few scratches on your legs. But what happens when you have taken the new path 30 times, and then 70 times, and then 217 times? It'll be easier and easier to find your new path and to take the new route when you repeat the action and walk down your new path again and again. I like this image because this is exactly how your brain works. Learning something new is all about doing the new thing again and again. The more you do something, the more you use something, the easier it gets. And on the contrary, if you don't use a skill for a long time, what happens then? Like a path in the forest, it will disappear after some time. I call this mechanism use it or lose it. In other words, your brain changes all the time due to how you use it. You make new connections and paths all the time, also when you don't even realize it. Having a growth mindset is about believing you can change, you can walk in all directions and learn completely new things all the time. This is what we want to focus on with next when we say, we all learn everywhere and all the time. However, maybe without realizing it, many of us believe that our intelligence, personality, and our physical possibilities are fixed. This is called to have a fixed mindset. That no matter what we do, we can't change. As a result, we focus on goals that are all about proving ourselves rather than improving ourselves. Do you have a growth mindset? Do you focus on improving because you believe deep down that it's possible for you to develop, acquire new skills, and change? I do hope so, because decades of research show that the belief in fixed stability, meaning that you can't develop and change, is totally and completely wrong. We can all grow and we can all change. Abilities are very changeable. And the good news is, embracing the fact that you can change and grow in new and exciting ways will allow you to make better choices and enabling you to reach your full potential. To make it specific in regards to setting goals, believing you have the ability to reach your goals is important. But so is believing that you can get the ability, even though you don't have it at all today. People whose goals are about improving rather than just proving themselves, they have great advantages. They love to become a clever version of themselves. They love that they can see that they now have learned to master something completely new that earlier was impossible for them to master. It's easier to ask for feedback and ask for help, and thereby excel in development, because they don't need to be perfect. And when they get setbacks, as we all do, for example, negative feedback or big challenges, they have a much higher degree of success. Actually, it fuels their development with a much higher motivation because they know that they can and will learn even more now. When you have a growth mindset, you can even change things like not being a people person. Of course, some things take much more time and effort than changing others. But unless you have a diagnosis or other difficulties of some kind, the sky is the limit. Your brain is amazing. Becoming responsible for something new and totally unfamiliar is understandably frightening. The odds of making a mistake increases dramatically when you are inexperienced. As a matter of fact, we are programmed to be frightened when we get new challenges or get outside of our comfort zone. But the solution is simple. The change lies in a single decision. Decide for yourself to allow yourself to make mistakes. And, I will add, maybe even try to see if you can appreciate making mistakes as being part of growing and learning a lot on your way. Studies show that people who allow themselves to make mistakes actually make fewer mistakes. This is because we're much cleverer when we're not worried or anxious. And that's why we next say, achieve excellence, don't just avoid errors. So 1, we focus on what we want. 2, we aim high. 3, with a growth mindset we say, we all learn everywhere and all the time. It should now make good sense to check your goals and consider the following questions. Remember to write your keywords down in your notebook and hit pause to work. Do you have Be Good goals where the focus is on proving that you already have a lot of ability and know what you're doing? Hit pause to check. Or do you have a Get Better goal? Or do you have Get Better goals where the focus is on developing new abilities, learning to master something new or change something, for example, in your approach? Should you challenge yourself in a completely new way and get a huge development for the benefit of you, others around you, and for systematic? What could be the smallest change in your goals that could have the biggest impact on your people? What could be the smallest change in your goals that could have the biggest impact on your business? What could be the smallest change in your goals that could have the biggest impact on your motivation? Hit pause if you need more time to reflect. It's a good idea for you to take time to remember this now and again, because you can by this create a feeling of being relaxed when training new competences or even a new mindset. Especially in the beginning, it's important that you remind yourself that it is natural to feel uncomfortable, and with practice it will change. So focus on the courage, the determination, and the desires and passion that earlier in your life got you through learning something completely new and difficult. As the perspective with fixed and growth mindset can be huge to take in, I will help you with adding this perspective later in the process. Before we move on, just one word about your process. Let's say you later get a new insight that you want to adjust your mindset. Maybe you know you're too pessimistic. You know it takes energy from both yourself and others. And so you decide to be more positive and have a yes, can do approach. It's fine at any point to go back to your vision or to your goals and adjust these according to the new insights you get. Just remember to use the SMART model again and carefully choose your words.